Hello lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. I'm doing something a little bit different today. As you can tell, you are in a mirror because I'm going to show you how I do my makeup looks. Now, if you are a beauty guru, inspirational person who does makeup tutorials, you're probably not going to like this because I can't use makeup brushes. I don't have the dexterity to hold them, I can't make fists, I can't hold small like pens either. And the only makeup brush I I own three, but the only one that I really use is this guy. My hand confused the hell out of you. This angled dude. And I don't actually know what he's supposed to be for, but I use him for doing like eyeliner, or any type of lines, because my makeup's not exactly subtle. And the dexterity problems, just because of one of my illnesses, doesn't allow my nerves to act properly, so I can't hold small things. They usually fall out of my hands. So any small brushes don't work. Although a few friends have just pointed out to me a few companies that do make bigger, thicker brushes, so in the near future I might attempt to do a look with brushes fully. But for now, I want to show you guys how I do my makeup. In contrast, I do have some makeup that comes in thicker tubes, so my mascara, as you can see, is a much thicker tube and shape and size than this brush. And this brush is how most makeup brushes I find is what their size is, so you'll get to experience what it's like to be me. Anybody who follows my Instagram, some of my Twitter, I don't usually post many photos on there. My username is at @SiamPintGlass for both Instagram and Twitter. This is probably not a reason to follow me, but if you want to see the quirkier side of my personality and how I do things with my disabilities, I've like normal people things with the added of my disabilities, I guess is the way to word that, then I would go over to like my Instagram. My Twitter is the same thing, but it's more activism on my Twitter, more to the point, worded things. So jump on over, take a look, follow if you're interested. So today I'm doing a lip look that I really like to do, which is where the top lip and the bottom lip are not really the same color. And I'm going to do a bold-ish, dramatic colored eyes. I stay away from blues just because, as you can tell, mainly because the lighting sucks, but I have very dark under eye bags, so we will see how this goes. I do have a concealer to try, but I'd stay away from blues because otherwise it looks like I have two black eyes. So, 1 second. So, I'm using NYX palettes. I've got the Phoenix palette and the Brights palette. Yes, I mixed them up a bit. Why not? Also, my mascara is Moodstruck Epic 40 from Unique. The under eye makeup, the concealer is number light 1.25 Affogato. I apologize for butchering that more than I should have. From it's not going to show you the words, is it? From NARS. And then my liquid lipstick is a Stay Matte pitch black, Stay Matte pitch black from Rimmel. I got it for Halloween. Works great. I found that NYX also has one, so might be trying that one out next. Okay, so we'll do the eyes first. Use the concealer because I don't have a primer because I didn't know that was a thing. So also my hands shake a lot, so don't mind that. That's just me. Not the part that I know nobody's going to appreciate. Well, you all use your sponge eye drop shaped things. I started watching makeup videos, and now I realize what that's for. Also, I should note that I don't wear foundation. I wear lots of mascara, but I don't wear foundation just because I've yet to find a color that matches my red skin. That's also very pale, as you can tell with this very light colored concealer. I was tempted to go into Sephora and ask them to try and match a foundation, but in the years that I've been wearing makeup, so since I was like 12-ish, I've never once found any makeup brand that matches my skin complexion to a proper close color. I used to mix two of the Mary Kay's colors, the pink beige and the ivory 2, because I need that pink color because of how rosy my face is, but also I'm very pale, so as you can tell, the concealer also matches my face, which is extremely light. So like if I go like this, how do I do this here? If I go like this, kind of matches, but to me it's still a bit pale. So what colors should we do? I'm wearing yellow, so let's go contrast. A little bit of green and purple, I think. Just why not? If my phone's making noises, I'm getting province alerts. Canadian. So yeah, let's go base. Notice you guys can't see what I'm doing. Going with this base blush color. And no, I'm not meaning to give you the middle finger, it's just more effective than my other fingers, so. And to everybody who's going, oh God, how is she going to clean this up? Oops. Didn't break. And to all of you who are wondering how the hell is she going to clean this up if she's not using brushes or anything like that, I have my ways. Which is also going to be childish, and it's probably going to annoy the hell out of you. So, I want to go bold base coat. I'm adding the lilac-y color to the corner, just to spread it a bit. I need the smaller finger. So with my pinky, because it is the smallest size, I'm going in with this dark purple, and I'm going to put it right into the corner crease. And just spread it out. You stay put. And the same thing to the other side. A little bit more in the corner there. Okay. Then I'm going in with the one that I've obviously used a lot, this pinky magenta-y color, just beside it to flare it out a little more into that lighter pink. I feel really sad because I can't zoom in on the camera. For some reason it doesn't work that way. So I'll pick it up and show you guys what it looks like after. So yeah, I'm going to go into the corner a little bit with a light yellow. So the other one I use a lot is this light yellow that's in the corner of this palette. I'm just going to put it a little bit into the outer corner and smudge upwards. Again, I'm not going to apologize to beauty gurus and everybody who's probably going to troll the message commentary section, because as much as some of us would like to be in your industry, there's not much that would do. Nobody's gonna want me to come at them with my fingers, so I will stick to my own face. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy helping people do like Halloween makeup and stuff, so I'll stick to what I'm good at. Applying makeup on other people is not one of them, but I find this fun. So I'm taking the light green on this palette above my crease. I'm just going to smudge that in. I'll smudge it in a lot more, but I'm just going to go up and over here. And on the other side. Now, to smudge it in, I'm using my index finger just because it's cleaner and because it covers a wider area than, say, my pinky, which is what the green and the dark purple had been on. I have a cloth on my lap, a slightly damp cloth on my lap that I'm using to wipe my fingers off on, and a spray bottle with water in case the cloth gets too dry. Because part of the cloth's wet, part of the cloth's dry, so. Yeah. Clean fingers. So, light. Now I'm gonna go over the part that just is light green with a bit of a darker green, which is in this corner here. It's a bit much on my finger. I'm just gonna smudge that in as much as possible. And I decided to use a bold colored palette so you can see just how difficult this is, because if it was a nude palette or something like that, you can usually just simply go over your mistakes with another nude color or natural color, so the browns and whatnot, and you can usually just fix it and make it more like a weird smoky eye. It doesn't work very well with this idea when you're using two colors that don't really go together. So I used the wrong finger. I don't know why I do that. Sorry. So we'll just keep smudging it away. I feel like I should have prepared dialogue because I don't know the terms for doing this. Just smudge. Smudge, smudge, smudge. A little more yellow in that corner. I'm gonna go over to the, that was with, so far I've just used the Brights palette. I'm gonna go into the Phoenix palette and grab some more bolder colored yellow. This one up here in this corner is really nice. And I'm just gonna smudge it in between the green and this pinkish color. Just to connect them a little more. Same on this side. Smudge it up. There we go. Looks fairly even color-wise. Under eye. Do the under eye. Now I gotta figure. We're going to use the black with this small brush. We're going to use the black and we're gonna go underneath and make an eyeliner type look. I can't hold an eyeliner pen, my hand shakes too much, and there are easier ways to look like a raccoon. We'll just be frank. So this usually works a bit better. Gives me a little more control. Not much steadiness, but a little more control. So I figured out how I'm gonna hold this here. Like a kid with a crayon. A kid being given a crayon for the first time. I guess we'll try it this way. Okay. Hands clean, so. Stay. It kind of worked. Not a little bit more. We'll clean it up, but as you can tell, this doesn't work very well. I can't hold it like that for the other eye. Move these palettes off my lap here. Welcome to my counter. Okay. That kind of worked. It's always like me sitting here 75% of the time going, there's big chance that this is just gonna go everywhere. And it's doing all right today, so. The reason I go out a little further is because if you can tell, it's not exactly an angle on the end, so when I clean them up, it should work a little better. And there goes the shake, because I can't hold a brush or a pencil like this. Please don't stab me in the eye. Such weird crease. I did it. Sorry, I just like reached into my eyeball there. So, eyeshadow is done, just need the cleanup method. Now, this is the part people are always intrigued about. I use Q-tips to clean it up, which it's effective, right? Anything that is small blemish, clean up, fix it, instead of having to redo your whole face. Q-tip is a hell of a lot thinner than your makeup brushes, so this will be fun. You guys get to see the #1 struggle of my day. Just spraying water on one end of the Q-tip. Break the Q-tip, frick. Okay. Clean that line up. Whoops. I knew that was going to happen. There's one cleaned up. So Realize I should be talking more. My apologies. So I don't really have a diagnosis for the shakiness or any of that. And I started getting into a lot of makeup last year after I had to drop out of university due to medical. They figured out what was going on, getting treatment for that for a while, but hasn't minimized the severity of the shaking much. So we still have that issue. But while I was, out of university and whatnot, my friend added me to this makeup group, I guess, on Facebook. It's just a bunch of friends, I guess, who also enjoy doing makeup, interesting looks, and they all just kind of challenge each other. Sometimes they're inspirational or inspired by something, so it'll be like, hey, it's spring, do a spring look, or hey, we challenge you to do a look based off of like Disney characters or favorite superhero, things like that. Color could coordinate, which is always interesting. They have some really, really good makeup people in there. Kudos to all of them. So I look more or less. I'm going to go back over with concealer under my eyes. Seems I just wicked most of that away. So we'll do this again. Dot, 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 dot. Dot, 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 dot. So, looking a little bit fierce. I always do extremely bold colors. Well, I shouldn't say always. Lately, I've been trying to do nude looks because I bought a nude lipstick. And I was curious because sometimes these bold looks look a bit off with bold eyes and like no lipstick. So, it's weird to say that my mixing it up is, workplace professionalism. So, or old style workplace professionalism. I don't know if people are allowed to wear colorful makeup to work yet. That would be nice to see more Gothica and like neon colors. Just a better look. Okay, so I'm gonna do the mascara last. This is the black lipstick. It is a matte, so it'll take a second. I'm going to add one coat to the bottom because the bottom is the lip that I add the extra color to. So I'm grabbing my NYX palette again. Which colors should we do? I think I'm going to go, because I don't use the color much. You know what? Because I don't use the color much, and I have no clue what lip would go with this, I'm going to use this bright blue right here as the bottom lip color. I needed a base, so that's why I used the black. And I know some palettes you're not supposed to do this, anything with talc or one other ingredient people tell me. English today, guys. I'm so sorry. One of these days I'll be able to keep you entertained more with my words. But I'm going to use the blue as my bottom lip. And I will figure out what the other word I'm looking for is. But there's apparently a reason you're not supposed to use eyeshadow a lot of the time as a lip color. There's a company when I was younger that made powders for multi-purpose use powders. So you could use it as like hair chalk or lipstick or eyeshadow. I have no clue what the brand's called. It's just what my mother used to have me use. Although I believe it was fairly cheap, so perhaps it wasn't the best option. But you know, I was like 12. And my makeup definitely doesn't look like 12-year-olds from today. It was more like how young girls used to color Barbie's face on like a placemat from God, what restaurant used to have placemats? Humpty's. So, yeah. It's a bit of a lighter blue in the center. Just tone it up a bit. Really just draw the colors together. Okay. And I'm going to do the top lip, the black that I was using before. Just go like this. This is going to take a second. Can't really see. Move down forward. So I'm rather curious to know how many other people who have dexterity issues or things like that who would do makeup videos or would want to get into the makeup industry if they had more accessible tools. So I think just making more of a dexterity brush would definitely get a lot more people in. And by dexterity brush, I mean brushes that are wider, or a mascara brush that is angled, which I think somebody did make one for the mascara brush. Because you're about to see why I mentioned angled mascara brushes. Whoops. So, a lot of you who know me know that I don't do very many of these looks or videos or any of that because I just don't think the general population would appreciate it. But I hope it was at least educational. Tiny corner. Or not. There. So now you can really see the lipstick. I don't know if you can really see the eyes, but give me a second. Yeah, it's on my counter. Okay, so the reason I got off my counter is because I need to lean to do this piece, which is gonna hurt. I'm gonna move you a little bit. Okay, so, oops. There we go. I'm trying to hold it very lightly so that I don't stab myself, and I feel like this is not overly effective. Try switching hands. Joys of being ambidextrous. Whoops. So I think I'm just going to voice this over. This didn't go as planned. There we go. I don't know. That's one with my long ass eyelashes. The joys of that is at least I don't have to attempt falsies. There we go. False lashes. Kudos to the girls who have the patience for that. Okay, let's try this eye. Add more. Usually I take a break. I should have mentioned that before I do the last bit. Just so that my hands have a moment to relax, and I probably should have did that. No, I did forget that, didn't I? Alright. Oops. Sorry. I dropped everything. So, the last bit, because again, I didn't know certain things existed until like a month ago. I'm going to do my eyebrows with a Q-tip and eyeshadow. So I'm using the dark brown and the like milk chocolate brown. Kind of mix them because one's a little too dark and one is definitely too light. So then we do this. And that just kind of gives it a bit more of a fullness on the ends, I guess. I don't know. I already have really thick, full eyebrows. It's just they're not quite as thick as they used to be when my hair fell out. They never quite grew back normal. But they have a nice shape, so I'll give them that. And also in the NYX Phoenix palette, there is this shiny orange. I'm just going to add that as a tiny bit of a highlighter. As I mentioned before, I think I don't wear foundation. I have a skin condition that I know I didn't mention before that causes it to flare. That causes the skin condition when you add, like my skin's really dry, so whenever I add foundation or anything heavy like that, it tends to, I guess, break out. It's not acne, but it looks gross. You can kind of see it on my forehead when I turn the camera around. So I just avoid it. I use coconut oil to keep my skin moisturized, and the rest of it can just stay. Now I realize that my face is red enough as it is, so this is probably not necessary, but I've been doing it for so long, like I've lived in the 50s, or at least through 50s makeup, but done in rave colors that I really should look up normal tutorials. But I've been watching ecstatic people for so many years. And the only reason I have my hair, which I didn't mention before, when I first had a mohawk before my hair fell out, my grandmother gave me a bunch of banana clips, which was to help me braid my mohawks back. But this one's not quite long enough to braid backwards, so I just held it up with the banana clip so that I could keep it out of my face. Do not fall over. Okay, so my shirt back, brush my hair to the side. And when we do this, there we go. And that is how I do my extremely interesting makeup in the morning. And when I find brushes, we'll do another one to show you the, hopefully, a little less long way of doing it. But thank you for watching. Hope you all have a lovely day.